Today's class is for you if you've committed to an early morning run this morning, but feel like hitting the snooze button. We've all been there. This class is designed to help you get the blood flowing nice and gently so that you feel motivated to lace up your trainers and hit the road. We're going to start on our backs and we'll have you hit the ground running in around 10 minutes or so. So just making your way down to your back in any way that feels good. There's no right or wrong. And once you're there, extending the legs out nice and long, just checking in, noticing how you're feeling today, and meeting yourself with acceptance, exactly where you are. On an in-breath, we'll lift the arms up and overhead and interlace the fingers behind the head, pressing the palms away. At the same time, we'll point through the toes, engaging through all the muscles in the legs, and find ourselves in a nice full body early morning stretch. Always a lovely way to start the day. Really reaching through the arms, pointing through the toes. And exhale to release through all the muscles, feeling the stress and tension melting away. We can bring our arms down by our sides and bring the soles of our feet onto the mat, knees pointing up. Feet are about hip width distance apart, and you might be able to tickle the backs of your ankles with your hands. We'll keep our arms by our sides, bridge pose, pressing into the feet as we lift the hips up off the mat and roll vertebra by vertebra all the way to come to rest on the shoulders. Engaging through the glutes and pressing the pelvis up to the sky, just making sure your knees haven't fallen out to the side and they're tracking over the ankles. On an exhale, we'll start to slowly, with control, roll down the spine, inch by inch, until we get all the way down, resting on our pelvis once more. We'll hug the knees in towards the body, so pick up the feet, and if you like, you can wrap your arms somewhere around the shins, hugging the legs in towards your body. Nice self-love this morning, always very needed. Inhale and exhale to release the feet back down to the mat. We'll do a little hip opener now. So picking up the right toes and crossing the right ankle over left knee. You can use your right hand to gently press the knee away from your body. And then maybe you can pick up the left toes, drawing the legs in towards you, taking a hold somewhere around the back of the thigh or around the shin. Actively pressing your right knee away from the body. And we can take some little ankle rolls here. One way and the other way. Good. You should also feel a nice stretch traveling up your right hip flexor. It should feel really juicy and nice. Inhale, and then on exhale, we'll gently release so the left foot comes back down to the mat. We're going to keep the legs as they are, and on an exhale, let the legs fall over to the left-hand side. We can take the arms out in a nice T shape, coming into a supine twist. And maybe you'd like to take your gaze over the right shoulder, if it's okay for your neck. Inhale back to center, lifting up the legs, and we'll take the right knee so that it stacks over the left and pick up the left foot once more. Taking a hold around the little toe edges of your feet if you can, and drawing the heels in towards your seat. Coming into our reclined shoelace pose or reclined cow face pose. Inhale. And exhale to release, bringing the left foot down, uncrossing the knees. And we'll hug the legs in towards the body once more, full body hug. Maybe rocking from side to massage your lower back. And on an exhale, bring the feet back down to the mat. This time crossing the left ankle over right knee, pressing the left knee away from the body, picking up the legs, drawing them in, taking a hold. Reclined pigeon on the other side, and we can take our little ankle rolls here, noticing how you feel on this side. One last squeeze and we'll exhale to release, bringing the right foot down to the mat, taking the arms out nice and wide in a T shape, and exhale to allow the legs to come over to the right side, maybe looking over your left shoulder this time. And inhale back to the center. This time stacking the left knee over the right, picking up the feet and taking a hold of the little toe edges of your feet, drawing the heels either side of your hips towards your seat. Feeling that nice deep stretch on the left side this time. So we're starting to open up the hips. Inhale and exhale to gently release the hold, bringing the legs back down, uncrossing the knees. We can take one last full body hug. We can never have too many. Just rocking gently from side to side. And then we'll see if we can make our way up to a seat on the mat, maybe bringing your knees over your forehead and rolling all the way up to a seat. And then we're going to see if we can come all the way into a tabletop position from there on the mat. Again, no right and wrong way, just making your own way there. Making sure that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. And we'll take some cat-cows here to wake up the spine. Inhale to drop the belly, lifting the tailbone and lifting the gaze. Exhale to round through the spine. We'll do 2 more rounds just like this. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, finding a wave-like motion in the spine. And exhale to round. And from here, we're going to kick the right toes all the way back. And exhale to squeeze nose to knee, rounding the spine. And see if we can step the right toes all the way through between the hands, finding our crescent lunge. With our hands connected to the mat, imagine we're pressing our hips down towards the ground. Find some lift in the chest, and maybe you can lift the hands up, all the way up overhead. Biceps by the ears. Finding your crescent lunge. And exhale. Bring the hands all the way down. We'll lift up the toes just to stretch out the hamstrings. So straightening through the front leg here. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Just feeling that lovely stretch. And exhale to set the foot back down. We're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and step all the way to the top of the mat, keeping a nice generous bend in the knee as we find our forward fold and let our head hang heavy. To intensify a little bit more, we're going to see if we can pop each hand underneath the soles of our feet and see if we can lift up through the tailbone, keeping the head nice and heavy, stretching and firing up through the backs of the legs. Inhale and exhale to release the hands. And then we're going to slowly rise all the way to a standing position, rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears, opening up through the chest. And you might like to lift the arms up and overhead, gently engaging the glutes as you press your hips forwards and look up to the sky. Inhale and exhale, we're going to fold it all the way back down to find our forward fold. Good. And then we're going to step the right toes back, keeping the left foot framed between the hands, and we'll drop the right knee and release the foot, coming into our crescent lunge on this side. So just taking a moment to press the hips down and forwards, and then maybe lifting the arms all the way up overhead, finding our crescent lunge. Nice and open through the upper body and lift it. Inhale and exhale to float the hands all the way down to frame the foot. We'll pick up the toes and see if we can set the hips back and straighten through the left leg as much as you can before you feel that stretch. If you can feel the stretch, then the pose is working for you. Inhale and exhale to bring the foot back down. And we'll tuck the back toes underneath, lift the knee, and see if we can step all the way through, finding our forward fold, and then intensifying by popping our hands underneath the feet. Belly is pressing against the thighs, head is heavy, tailbone is lifting, reaching towards the sky, Nice firing up through the backs of the legs. Head is heavy. Inhale and exhale to release. Once again, rise all the way up, stacking the vertebra one on top of the other and lifting the arms up and overhead, pressing the hips forwards, gentle engagement of the glutes. Exhale to rain the hands down. We'll just do a little bit more hip opening and then we'll be ready to hit the road. So coming nice and light on your right foot, we're going to squeeze the leg in towards the body. And you can either place your hands on your hips or down by your sides for your balance. So once you've got your balance, see if you can start to take some hip circles, lubricating the hip joint. One way. And then we'll reverse the direction. Good. Whoop. This is always a good balancing exercise. And we'll release the feet back down to the mat, coming onto the other side, squeezing the left knee in towards the body and then taking our hip circles. Opening up the hips and reversing the direction. Good, and we'll let the feet come down to the mat. Just give ourselves a little shake, maybe one final stretch. Lifting the arms up overhead, pressing the hips forward, full body stretch, allowing the hands to come down to your side. Well done, you're all warmed up for your run. Let me know how it goes in the comments, and thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next class.